Welcome back, guys. It's Friday the 14th January. I've been home now off work for about 5 days. Before that was summer night, so I haven't really got much done in regards to the cars, but I've had my son here, so I've been spending a bit of time with him. But he's got this old PlayStation 4. He's had it for ages. I was going to get him a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. They're absolutely ripped off. I'm like, nah, I'm not wasting money on them. And so, yeah, got back from summer nights. He started playing some of his games on this laptop he's got, just to want to use it for school. He did have a proper gaming laptop I bought him. He never used it, so I ended up selling it for a ridiculously cheap price. So yeah, he's trying to play this game, this laptop, but it's absolute crap. It's really slow, blocking. I knew it was coming. It's just like, man, he's got his PlayStation 4, it's dated. He's got his laptop, it's struggling with games, not a proper gaming computer, so but stuff it. So I just spoke to my brother. He builds computers and stuff. He knows a lot about them. He said, just get on Facebook Marketplace and look around. So my brother found one in Sydney. This, in the inner city. This Asian dude had one in his unit block. So we drove all the way to Sydney, went to this unit. The dude was really cool. Went in there, got the desktop, $700. Really good, sort of above entry level for gaming. So I got that. Harvey Norman, near Auburn. Bought the Samsung curved screen for it. Come home, and then I needed a desk for it, so I just got on Facebook Marketplace and found this deceased estate sale. They had on like all this stuff. They had all this stuff on the cheap, so I bought this computer desk, office chair for $50. Absolute steal. A little bit dated, but does the job. Here's the stuff. Here's the stuff I got. So now I've got that sorted. Now I can get on to this Falcon. My son got an action camera for Christmas, so he knocked off my bloody GoPro and he's taking the handle and stuff for it. So I'm actually holding the GoPro in my hand. It's a bit awkward, but so now he's got this action camera. He's taken a liking to my GoPro because he knows it's that little bit better. So to start off with, when I went to Sydney, I took the opportunity to get some stuff I needed for my other car. So I went to Bodywork Wreckers in Central Coast, and I'm going to convert. Talking to Al from Skid Factory when I was at Summonats, the Holtec Heroes dyno cell. Talking to Al, and he's looking over the engine bay and just asking a lot of questions about what I've done and all that sort of stuff. But he looked at the throttle body, and he asked me what throttle body I'm running. I said it comes off like an EF Falcon, Mustang or whatever, they're all the same. So he said, just go to the wreckers, get yourself a BA Falcon drive-by-wire throttle body. So that's what I've done. I went to Bodywork Wreckers, got this throttle body and a whole pedal box out of a BA. It's an auto pedal box, obviously. And what I'll do, I'll just make a bracket to hold this accelerated pedal. So that'll go on the Escort. This will go straight. I'll show you. The beauty of this is I can literally take this one off, and this one will go on like so. So it'll sit in there like that, in here. So then I'll have drive-by-wire accelerator. So then I can, there's so many things you can do with drive-by-wire. I can actually run cruise control. I don't have to worry about idle air control. Bloody cats everywhere. So that'll make it heaps better for, like, you know, just everything got to do with engines is better with drive-by-wire, what I've been told. So that's sorted. And then when I originally bought that FG Falcon, it didn't come with its proper spare wheel. Just come with this dodgy wheel over there. I don't know what it's off, but it's got a massive sidewall cut. Didn't come with a jack or anything. So I went to this place called Mr. Ford Wreckers, and he had FG's parts everywhere. It's so much bit. So I've got a Space Saver spare wheel, the foam thing the wheel sits on, jack, brace, all that shit. So now it's got a proper spare wheel. I was considering going back to the factory wheels, which is 17-inch, but he wanted like $600 for the wheels, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not spending up $600 on that car, and I've just bought $1,000 worth of tyres. When the tyres start getting down a bit, maybe I'll look into it, because the roads around here are shit. It's just crap. So I've been tolerating potholes and all that sort of crap around here. So the We've got roadworks up the road now, so I'm getting dirt sprayed up the car every time I go for a drive. So what I'll do with this coupe now, I think driver's side's almost done. It's almost done, so I reckon the passenger side needs a bit of bodyline work done on it. Just around with this door handle. I noticed that this bodyline goes up and down a bit, so that needs a bit of attention. But what I'll do, I'll mix it up a bit, do something different. I reckon I'll get onto this boot, get back to this boot, because there's a little bit of a low spot over there. So I reckon give this boot a crack. I wouldn't mind giving the roof a block. It's got its shape, it's just a matter of going down through the grades and sandpaper now, and then go onto the bonnet. So could do the boot. I'm going to do the Durablock 120 grit 3M paper, and I'm going to use this soft sander for doing up in this area here, because I could use a larger Durablock with a curb in it, but I think it's going to be too long. So got that, and then over here there's a low spot. I've been putting up with it for a while around. It's around here somewhere. So what I'll do, yeah, work my way from here, go down to about here, and then I'll slowly, I'll probably start from this end, work my way forward. But yeah, that area over there, I'm going to have to see what I can do about it. Either put more polyester filler in it, primer, or put some frame platinum filler in it. See how we go. So before I make a start, I'll set up my fan to keep cool and blow dust out the door. I've got compressed air, so I'll unblock the sander block, and just to get the dust out of here. It's going to get pretty hot today, so I'm going to have to sort of keep the fluids up and just pace myself. But I actually like these conditions, because when you go put the all the primers down, they go off really quickly, so that's a good thing, you know, regarding time and just getting on with it. What works for me, and this is, I think this is pretty flat, but I found with the roof, I don't know if you can see it, but on the right hand rear corner here, I was doing the final stage of the blocking, and it appeared to be really good. Everything was going sweet. Put a glove on and just started going over it. I could feel like a high spot, and I'm like, wow, almost missed that. So I went back to 80 grit, blocked it out, and then it suits me right now, but I'll get onto the roof soon. So what I do, I just go over it, just look away, and you're looking for you vaguely feel something here, I don't know. I think it's pretty good, but I'm looking for any highs and lows, but it's when you put your bare hand on it, you're picking up all the coarse surface. So when you got this on, it sort of magnifies it. It works for me anyway. I'm going to use this Durablock. So it's got the nice curve in it. It's the best block I've got for doing this area. So it's going to be, I'm going to try to keep it all even. So use this block. I'll go as long as I can with the camera, but my son keeps coming in there, so if I pause it, that's why. giving it a fresh coat of a poly. It looks pretty good. I can see there's like a spot around here. It's like a slight high. It's really difficult to tell. Sun in the background having a picky boo. So what I'll do, this will go off fairly quickly. Then I'll have to get Prepsil or wax and grease remover and give that a coat over it. But the problem you have when you use wax and grease remover, I had this conversation with Howard Still, the Summernats, where it was in spray bottle, is you put it on there, and if you don't get it off, if you don't clean it off properly, the primers, all the fluids absorb into it, so it's like a porous sort of surface. So you have to make sure that when you put wax and grease remover on it, you have to get it off properly. So I'll have to go get some more consumables, but I'll just use methylated spirits as they recommend with this resto finish stuff. So yeah, give it a good clean and give it a wax and grease remover, have a look at the reflection and just see what it's doing. But it looks pretty good. What I'm thinking about using, I was just gauging all my blocks, what I've got this one here. I've cut it down, but I might use that just to go over with 120 grit, just to go over these areas here, make sure they're perfectly sort of level, because when you're using that big block I was using before, this one here, if you're not careful, you can create a massive low in this whole area, so you have to be really mindful of it. But I reckon if I go over it with that little Adura block, it'll sort of make this sort of 100% blend in really well. I reckon it's pretty good now. I'm probably just being a bit critical, but I know for a fact that when the car's got its top coat on it, it's glossy out in the sun, anything that you miss is going to come out. So I'll let this go off. I'll be able to sand it this afternoon, I reckon. It's about 28 degrees now. So its happy temperature is 20 degrees plus, so that's 20 Celsius, not 20 Fahrenheit as Americans would say. But so I'll probably make a start in the bonnet, I reckon. It should be pretty good. It's got these edges here a bit hairy going, because I had to take the skin off this to fix up all the rust all along in there, and it was creased. So yeah, there's a bit of work getting it right, but I've got a separate video on that if you just want to check it out. But the bonnet's pretty good. Shouldn't be taking too long. There's a couple of high spots. I'll have to get the paint and stint removable tools and just knock a couple of high spots in. But so I'll make a start on this bonnet. Just looking at the look at this back edge, you can see it's a little bit wavy. It's what happens when you take the skin off and you put it back on. Will happen in my case anyway. So what I'll do, get this permanent marker, mark the spot that I'm not happy with. Yep, so that gives me an idea. I'll have to there's one in the middle, I think. It's right over here. I'll have to roll the car over to get to that. So what I'm going to do is get this dolly hammer and go right up to the edge. This bonnet closes, I'm going to be in a whirl of pain. So I'll just correct it. A little bit more slow and steady when it comes to this sort of thing. Yeah, so it's that easy. Now I'll move across the other one. Have to roll the car over a bit. That's a lot better. A little bit more in this one. Sort of tell by the sound of it what it's doing. Yeah, that's a lot better. So what I'll do, roll the car over, do the other side. I'll check these edges, make sure they're sweet, and then I'll start blocking it down. I'll have to pay attention. There's a nice sort of body line across the middle, so I'll have to do what I've done on the rear quarters and the side of the car, is tape it and do that process. I'm not totally satisfied with this edge, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over it. So I'll just go along that edge. Don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, that's a lot better. The other side's really good, but this side, I remember I was doing this bonnet, I was in a massive rush, like I was getting towards later in the day, and it's running out of time. So I pretty much just finished the bonnet, gave it a coat of the epoxy edge primer, and then yeah, that was it. So I've started doing a little bit of bodywork on it, but yeah, not much. Time to chill out. Morning tea. Just looking over this bonnet, the edges are done now, I'm happy with them. You can see where, because I put the skin back on, there's all those across here. So I've got the Durablock again, 120 grit. Then I've got this, I don't know why I've been calling these soft blocks, they're actually called soft sanders. So I've been using these heaps, so same family as the Durablock, same company that makes them. So I found this one here, have a look over the ones I've got, and I reckon that's going to be pretty good. Doing those edges in there, doing it here, it's the same shape. So getting there with that. So I'll do one half, and when I get to this area here, it's got a fine line up the middle. I'll tape this side here, I'll mark the line, tape this side, and I'll sand this side, then I'll do the opposite the other side. So I retract my statement about this bonnet. It's got highs and lows everywhere. Bloody all around here. So yeah, it's had a hard time, this bonnet. Got creased badly across here, so I had to take the skin off, repair that. Yeah, so just means I'm gonna have to put heaps of filler over it and just sand it all back. They're only very minimal, but probably maximum, probably here it gets up to probably a mil there. But I'll have to find this line under here and put a bit of tape across this side of it so that it'll keep that line there prominent. But yeah, a bit of work involved, that's for sure. But it's part of the process. This car's been through hell. Struggling to find this body line. It's pretty easy here. I've got permanent marker, marked it there, but over here it's really subtle. You can hardly see it. So what I've done, I've got this profile gauge and just put it in line with that hole there. So you can see right on there, exactly 13 centimeters. So look at there. See the permanent marker line, then you go to the other side. So it's bang on. Bang on, 13 centimeters, and yeah, it's close as I'll get. It's what I'll do now. I've got this millimeter spline, so I'll just be able to mark a nice straight line across there, and that'll give me something to go off. Should work, I reckon. So I've just marked this line. I've got a bit of coarse over here, so I'll fix that up. But so I've got this stuff from Bunnings. It's really good. It says here, when it's in English, sharp line, so it's really good for this sort of stuff. The wider stuff, it's harder to get it straight, so let's get this shit. So shit started. Make a start. closer you can get the tape, the more accurate you can get it to the panel. Remember doing this to the Escort when the body lines up. Oh, it's hard. That's why I want to paint them on this time. Let's do it this way. It's more forgiving. You get it right with the body lines, then you can just paint the lines on rather than put the nylon bloody stripes on, because then you can't, it's hard to get it off once you stick it on. So I notice as the body line goes further back, it's less obvious, you can't see it as well. So have to pull it up there, get a bit closer to it. It's a bit hard. This bonnet's huge compared to the Escort anyway. So I reckon about to there is good, and it'll just fade away after that. Then I'll just put another strip across it just to protect it a little bit. And that'll now all I have to do is get me sanding block, blow it out, and you start concentrating that, and you got to pay attention to it getting really close. It's bloody awkward, I've got shit everywhere. See, low, low. So what you find there, you've got your line. I've got to sand more obviously, but then once you're happy with the line, you've sanded this, you're happy with it, then you can do the opposite. You get the tape and you put it along this side. Then you go remove the tape from this side and sand this side, and that's how you get your prominent body line. It's just too hard to try to look at it and do it without it, I found. So there's another low here. Yeah, this bonnet's had a hard time. So I'll leave this tape here. I'll put filler over that. I've just got to scuff it up obviously like I did before. Just mark the areas, scuff it up. 120 grit. I'm pretty much going to cover, I'm going to cover this whole area in a sense, but I'm going to, these areas I got marked out, I'm going to put more filler in them. Yeah, this is where all the time goes into it when it comes to this sort of thing. Obviously you're going to get loads across here where I put the skin on, but stuff like here, it's going to need a fair bit there. So scuff this up, get it clean with Mefo, and then load it up with a 3M body filler. Got heaps of filler on it. It's going to be heaps of fun sanding it off. What I've done, I'll put another layer of this tape here just so I can, the filler, like if I had filler over that line, I'm trying to sand it. I could possibly sand this away too much, so I've got to peel it off now like that. That way I've got a nice line of, neat line of filler, sand off. So get that off there. We'll tape this off or it goes off, because if you don't, it'll just, yeah, it'll obviously peel the filler off the panel and repeat the process. So yeah, so if I try to you sand it and then the filler's over the line, you go to take this off, it's just going to take big chunks off. Happened on the doors, it's a nightmare. So yeah, but looking at this body, just give us a quick look at these body lines. So see it here, it's a little bit too proud, like it's got a bit of a sharp sort of edge on it, but that's not the final finish. I could take the top off it, because I know for factory they're more of a subtle sort of body line, but this gives me a really good starting point. A lot of the cars I looked at all Ford day and car shows and stuff, I got this prominent line. So it's perfectly even line, goes right across and then fades around here. So yeah, this panel is, this side of the car is really good. It's almost finished. This boot, just had a look over because the light changed with the reflection, so just looking over it, it's looking really good. So I'll give it another hit with 120. Yeah, I'll give this one a go, I reckon. It's not quite ready. It's been probably 3 hours since I gave it a coat, but yeah, it's already, yeah, I could send that if I wanted to, but I'll leave it till later. May not even do it today, I don't know, see how it go. But I was gonna do the rear panel. I was gonna do this rear panel, but I got all this crap here in the road. I prefer to do that all together in one hit. Then I'll do this rear valance, I think it's called. Got that put back on. I've got to correct that. That's pretty good as it is. I had a weld section in here because someone cut it out for the tow bar. Well, I met one of the cool fellas that watches me channel. He's local. His name's Dwayne Bones, legend of a fella. He's got a Landau he's doing up, and I had a look at it, and he's come a long way with it. He's actually, I thought he was ahead of me, but he's actually a little bit behind. But I think he's got the passenger side's near done, the roof's done, and then he's onto the driver's side now. But yeah, he's hooking into it. Yeah, so I went to his place, and I noticed he had this tow bar sitting up against his wall, and I said, "Is that a tow bar off a XB Falcon or something?" He goes, "Yeah. Do you want it?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'll take that." But I've been doing a bit of research, and apparently the rating's not really high on these tow bars. I can't actually see a rating on it, but I know Heyman Reese, they make a good tow bar for this car. So yeah, I don't know. I might just, for safety's sake, just put a Heyman Reese tow bar on it. I don't know yet, but I wouldn't mind using this car to tow the Escort to all 4 day in Sydney. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Then I could have both cars on display. But in order to use this car to tow the Escort, you know, 400 kilometers or more, I'm gonna have to make sure it's super reliable. So I'm weighing up between Holy Sniper, or just going Holtec and going full EFI, drive-by-wire, everything. That way I could have cruise control in the car. I know that's, you know, you don't have to have that, but it'd be freaking nice. Have cruise control, drive-by-wire would also be really good for I want to have this car air conditioned, so there's so many options. I know I'll drive-by-wire. If I could have like Holtec, I could have just get LS1 coils. I bought the set for the Escort, 8 of them for like $80. So I could run LS1 coils, drive-by-wire throttle body, just do the same. I'll probably go FG Falcon actually. FG Falcon's got I think it's a little bit bigger throttle body. I don't know. There's all these options. I'm always exploring it, but still don't know what I want to do. But yeah, it's exciting, that's for sure. It's not too far away now. Like once I get a coat of paint on here, I'll be starting to do the wiring. And for me, wiring up an engine, to me that's freaking exciting. Wiring up a car and making it into like a modern sort of electronics and stuff like that, if you do it properly, your car's going to be so much more reliable and more efficient. I could rig up alarm, central locking. Yeah, sky's the limit, but I'll see how I go. But for now, Bodywork. Give this tool a whirl. Got it from Super Cheap Auto. I'm a bit skeptical about buying this cheap end stuff, but I bought it for the Escort when I was putting this Super Auto Gleam Super Resin polish on. It's just quicker and easier to put on with that. Plus I thought it might be alright for doing some of the bodywork. So it was only like $80, but then you don't get the battery and the charger. You got to buy them separately, but they come with all these different pads, different grits. So I'm trying it out of an 80. Obviously you're limited what you can do. I'm not going to go do a big open area with it. But I'm just doing this down the front here where it's a bit tight. And it picks up the dust really good too. It's amazing. Not bad for $80. speed too, which is a good thing. So yeah, it's going nicely. But yeah, I'll have to give it a, keep persevering. It needs more here, more there, as expected. Following day, I'm really struggling to get a lot of work done. I keep on getting interruptions and stuff, but that's the way it is. So this half's pretty much, I've got a little body filler on there and a lot of work. What I've been doing to take the high spots off the filler, I've been using this super cheap sander, and I found that the dust catcher on the back is not the best. It's probably better for like woodwork and stuff, maybe, I don't know. But it fills up and then the dust starts coming out of it and starts getting in your face. So what I've done, I've got me over audible sander I bought ages ago, this one here, and what they do, they have this line that comes off it that goes onto the ground. That way you don't get dust in your face. That was working all right. Then I ran out of all the pads. The only pads I got left are really fine grade, so I went to Bunnings. I bought these. They're same size, but I haven't got the holes in them, so it doesn't do the vacuuming effect. So yeah, it just goes back to normal. So took the pipe off it, and yeah, it's really good for doing the small jobs, but just takes the filler off so quick, unreal. So I got 3 packets of them. I've got more, got acetone. That's basically what they use, resto finish. That's basically what they use to thin out the polyester primer. That was $50. Got some more wax and grease remover, because it's going to come to a point where the cars are going to be paying a lot of attention to body lines, like basically everything, bodywork, to get the car out of the sun, look at reflections, all that sort of stuff. And the rest spread I've currently got, this one here, I noticed last time I was priming, it was starting to block up, and I had, like, the following day I was coughing and carrying on. So yeah, obviously I've had that for a long time. It's been really good, but yeah, it's had its time. So I got this in Bunnings also, just this 3 amp version of it, so that'll be good. So yeah, got all these goodies. So what I'll do now, I'll start on this other half of the bonnet now. I'm hoping it's not as bad as this side. Oh, I was blown away. I didn't think it was that bad, but I think the reason why this is bad, because it had a big nasty crease over there, so I've had to correct it. But in turn, the metals, it was a bit funky over there, but it's not very thick, it's just a large area. So, so yeah, I'm hoping this side isn't so bad. It looks alright from this point, but the surface is pretty, it's a bit of a, yeah, something here, a bit of a hump there. I don't know what's happened. I don't know. I'll get onto that. Found a little spot here higher. It's only very slight, so I'll just knock it down with this paintless dental removal tool. Heaps better. Salt needed. Yep, that's better. That'll blend in just fine. Having the same problem I had on the driver's side of the bonnet. Yeah, it's just like there's low, low, low. It's like it's as if someone's been crawling around on the bonnet. It's just, yeah, all out of shape. So I know this, from what I can gather, this car, I think it was I think it may have come from a farm because they had hay all through it. And just all like bits of rope, and it was obviously this car was sitting around for a long time. And it makes me think, you know, back when I was very young, my father was working 5 days a week as a fitter machinist in his factory, and on the weekends he used to go to his dairy farm and just work down there, and we used to go down there as kids and get inside these massive big sheds, and they had these whole hay bales, and we used to climb over them. And I remember they had like this Valiant Ute as a farm car, and we used to get in that and ride around the back, and it was great old fun. I think the car's still there now, rusting away in the paddock. But it makes me think of this car, like when I was young we used to crawl around on cars, crawl around on the roof of cars and all over them, just for fun. We had a VW van here. We've had an old Mark III Cortina. I remember we used to crawl around on that and play in it. Yeah, all these different cars we've had over the years. And yeah, it's just one of those things. So what I'll have to do, I'll just have to get the body filler and just put an even coat over this whole area. It's going to be a lot of work, but this is how you do it. Over there, it's a bit of a, I didn't expect it to be so bad, and it kept coming up everywhere. I should have just put heaps of coats on to start with and just sand it all back. So I got now, I've got this Mefo clean rag, give it a clean, it's already scuffed up. Yeah, put heaps of filler on it, and then I'll just cut it back with 80. Might even use the splines, I think, just do it once, do it properly. So I've got the filler on. So it's a matter of getting a spline that's suitable. So I've got this thicker one, I think that'll be good. Nice and long and firm. If I get a thinner one, I'll have a tendency to sort of possibly bend out of shape a bit to get highs and lows. So I figured I'd just use this big one. It's going to take me for ages. It's going to take me ages. We've got this Daisy 80 grit paper. I think, yeah, that'll I'm not going to go shy of this. I'm just going to hook in. Where it starts to wear out at all, I'll just replace it. It's Saturday today. I've only got another 3 days I can really get into this, then I'm going back to work. I spoke to my tuner about the Escort. Told him that the head lifted on the final dyno pull at Summernats, and he said, yeah, best thing to do, take the head gasket into him. He'll have a look at it, see if I've got plenty of room for put a fire ring between the cylinder head and the block, and then I'll upgrade the head studs, and then that'll give me just make it more reliable and the head won't lift again. I can't really chase any more power. That turbo's out of puff anyway, which we've got plenty of power anyway. 550 horsepower at the wheels is plenty of power for a little car that size. So yeah, but I'm not going to worry about pulling that car apart just yet. Australia Day weekend, they got a cruise in this group I'm in, so I'm hoping to take the Escort out for that. But I've been driving everywhere, go to the shops, going to Bunnings and running around everywhere. But yeah, so I'll get stuck into this car now. It's the priority at the moment. The FG's got issues too. It's got clunking noise in the back, but no idea what it is. But it's got a few K's in the oil now. About to throw some poly on. It's about 36 degrees here at the moment, so it should go off pretty quick. And I've done put a little bit more time into just going over it and correcting anything that's obvious. That way be less work to do when it's got the poly on it. Yeah, so yeah, mix some poly up and throw it on, and hopefully it comes out good. Done. Overall it's not too bad. I'm not surprised by anything. So I've just dusted the car off. I'll show you this panel here, this whole side. So yeah, it's really coming along good now. I'll show you even as far as the sill. all around here now. Got to crack that a little bit there. That's small stuff. So I've got to do, you know, under the door, in the door jambs, all that sort of stuff. That can happen later. I'll finish the outside of the car first, external stuff, and then I'll get onto those areas. So the roof, it's really good too. So you can, I know you probably can't tell, but it's been done with 120. So I'll do a 180, and then have a really good look at it, see how it comes out. I know that the shape's good now. The shape's sweet. It's just a matter of getting out all the, you know, the sandpaper marks. Usual process. The boot's ready for a block. We get low on the polyprimer again. But the passenger side, trying to get this dust off it. So it's pretty good. It's just this body line here. It's slightly out. I'll try to show you this. It sort of goes along and goes up a little bit. So it's a matter of putting tape across to mark the line where I like it to be. Put the tape and then sand it towards that line, and then it should be sweet. But so I'll probably, most of the attention now, if I do it in stages, driver side's about 90% done. Passenger side's probably 85% done. And the roof, yeah, that's probably 80% done. So the rest, it'll be, mainly the attention now will be finishing off the boot, the bonnet, and then I'm not going to even bother doing these areas until this contraption down the road. It's a pain in the ass. So got that to do, and then I've got that. Well, the bonnet's a fair bit of work left in the bonnet. I've got to do more blocking, and it's pretty good. But yeah, that section that goes under here, I have to start on that. It's in a pretty sad way. But under the bonnet, it's just, ugh. It's got a coat of epoxy on it, all seam sealed. It's ready to be obviously got to use a bit of filler in there and tidy all that area up. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. That's one of the jobs I'll do when I start doing the door jams and all that sort of stuff. Do under this bonnet, got to scuff it up really good for that epoxy to stick to it, because I know the engine bays, they got a lot of temperature in there, and shit can turn south real quickly if you don't follow the steps properly. So I'll wrap it up for this video, and yeah, hopefully won't be too much longer now, and I'll be starting on the top coat. Can't wait. Then I can do all the exciting stuff like doing wiring and mechanical stuff, brake lines, that sort of stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. And then I can get this shed cleaned out. It's bloody dust everywhere. And I think there's a storm coming, so I've done a good thing and got this bonnet painted. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have another video up for you soon. Hit like if you like it, and yeah.